we're going to thinly slice half of a small onion. On our green onions, we're going to separate the white parts from the green part. We're going to cook the white part with our regular onion. And then we're going to take the rest of the green onion and we're going to cut it into pieces about 3/4 to an inch long. I have 1 clove of garlic. I'm going to give it a good smash and then I'm going to give it a rough chop. I have some ginger here and I'm going to slice it, give it a rough chop, and I want about the same amount of ginger as what I have garlic. To 8 ounces of thinly sliced strip steak, I'm going to add some rice wine, some soy sauce, and then I'm going to mix this in. Now I'm going to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of sugar, then we'll mix this in. Now I'm going to add some cornstarch, if I can ever get it to come out the bowl. There we go. Now we're going to give this a good mix until all of the white spots are gone. Time to make our sauce. We've got some chicken stock. That we're going to add some dark soy sauce. That gives us a nice color. A little bit of raw sugar. I don't use a lot of sugar. Restaurants use a lot, but I don't use very much. We'll add some oyster sauce. Give it a good mix and set it aside until we need it. To a hot wok, we're going to add some oil. And we're going to swirl that oil around. Make sure the pan's coated really good. We're going to add our onion and the white part of a green onion. And when our onion starts to soften up a little bit, we're going to add the tops of the green onion. And when the tops of the green onion start to show signs of cooking, we're going to take all the onions out. We're going to put just a little bit more oil in the pan. As soon as the oil's hot, we're going to add our garlic and ginger. This will help flavor the oil. As soon as I can smell ginger and garlic, I'm going to put the beef in. And I'm going to try to kind of spread it out into a single layer. I want it to sear a little bit. This being a home stove, I don't have nearly the power that the restaurants do. So I got to kind of cheat a little bit. And about 30 seconds later, I'm going to kind of flip this meat over a little bit and try to sear the other side. About 30 seconds later, I'm actually going to start stir frying now. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking to get some sear on this and get rid of the red spots. I'm not cooking it all the way through. When the meat's about 75 to 80% done, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put it over here with our onions. Now I'm going to add the sauce and bring it to a boil. When the sauce is boiling really good, I'm going to put the meat and onions back in there. Now I'm going to add my sesame oil. I always add sesame oil at the end because if you put it in early, it loses flavor. The more you cook sesame oil, the more the flavor it loses. So just put it in at the end. So now I add my cornstarch slurry. This is just 1 tablespoon cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of water mixed up. And what this is going to do is it's going to thicken the sauce. And now it's ready to plate. Okay, I know I'm going to get the comment that this is not a Mongolian dish, it's a Chinese dish. And that is kind of correct. It's actually an Americanized Chinese dish. The Chinese restaurants in the States, I guess, developed this dish to tailor to the American taste, and they named it the most exotic name they could come up with. And that at the time was Mongolia, so they named it Mongolian beef. And it's a very popular dish. Now, typically in the Chinese restaurants, or the westernized Chinese restaurants, the beef is marinated and then they lightly fry it before they put it into the stir fry. I tend to stay away from that now. I don't know if it's any healthier the way I do it, but I prefer not to fry it. And plus it doesn't make as big a mess in the kitchen, less cleanup. Also, in westernized Chinese restaurants, they use a lot more sugar. I only put a little bit of sugar. If you want it to taste like the restaurants, fry your beef and load it up with sugar. Anyway, let's give this dish a try. That's why this dish is so popular. It's that oyster sauce just brings it out.